I almost flunked out of college, not because I was lazy, but because I was completely convinced that math talent was genetic. You either had it or you didn't at all. Does that feeling sound familiar to you? One semester later, I was somehow tutoring the very same classmates I used to secretly envy from the back of the lecture hall. What changed? Honestly, it wasn't some grand epiphany or a sudden burst of motivation. It was a single, simple, psychological blueprint I stumbled upon while, let's be real, having a full-on meltdown in the library at 2 a.m. And no, this blueprint isn't about motivation, it's not about hustle, and it's definitely not a complicated morning routine. Give me about 8 minutes, and I'll hand it to you step by step so you can start applying it to your own life today. Section 1, the stuck trap. For years, I'd walk around saying, "Oh, I'm just not a numbers person," like it was some kind of immutable truth, a permanent brand tattooed on my forehead for all to see. Every failed quiz, every moment of struggling to understand a problem felt like irrefutable proof that the universe had assigned me to the drama kid track, far, far away from anything analytical or logical. The real problem wasn't the math itself, it was the deeply ingrained story I carried around with me, this powerful conviction that talent is fixed, a static gift you either possess or you don't. The psychologist Carol Dweck, a professor at Stanford, famously calls this a fixed mindset. Research overwhelmingly shows it turns every single setback into a giant, unmoving stop sign. Think about it from your own experience. Once you truly believe your ability is cast in stone, that you genuinely can't improve, then what's the point of putting in more effort? It feels utterly pointless, doesn't it? So you quit. You give up. You avoid the challenge altogether. I almost did. I mean, why bother trying if you believe the outcome is already predetermined? Section 2, the blueprint reveal. So what's this game-changing blueprint? Here it is, in one powerful line. Swap the word can-t for can-t yet. That tiny, unassuming three-letter word, yet, is pure magic. It single-handedly activates what Dweck so brilliantly names a growth mindset. Instead of seeing your abilities as rigid, unmovable statues, it reframes them for your brain as muscles. And just like muscles, they can be developed, strengthened, and grown through consistent effort and practice. This isn't just a nice thought, it's grounded in the science of neuroplasticity. Neuroplasticity is the brain's incredible ability to reorganize itself by forming new neural connections throughout life. Every time you relabel a struggle as in progress rather than impossible, you are literally stimulating your brain to create and strengthen new neural pathways, making it adapt to the challenge. That infamous library meltdown I had, the entire situation flipped for me the moment I scribbled, "I can T-integrate yet," on a crumpled napkin and taped it right to my laptop screen. That napkin wasn't just a piece of paper, it became my very first rep in the mental gym. It was the moment I started seeing potential and opportunity, where just minutes before I had only seen permanent limitations. Section 3, 4 reps to build the muscle. Ready to start lifting? Here are 4 practical reps to build that growth mindset muscle, starting today. Rep 1. Chase challenges that genuinely scare you. Seriously. Pick that project, that intimidating class, or that difficult conversation you've been skillfully dodging, and put it on your calendar. Why? Because that feeling of discomfort isn't a sign to retreat. It's the only place where your brain actually upgrades its wiring. It's the neurological signal that you are stretching beyond your current capacity, and real, lasting learning is happening. Rep 2, reframe failure as data. After every fumble, every mistake, every moment that doesn't go as planned, resist the urge to wallow in frustration. Instead, grab a notebook and ask yourself, what is the lesson here? Then jot down 3 specific bullet points. Failure isn't a final judgment on your worth. It's just valuable information telling you what didn't work so you can adjust your strategy and try something new. Research shows that people with a growth mindset are more likely to learn from their mistakes because they pay more attention to them. Rep 3. Praise your process out loud. This is a huge one, and it feels weird at first, but it works. Instead of saying, "Wow, I'm so smart for finishing that," try replacing it with something like, "I stuck with that difficult problem for 30 minutes, even when I was getting frustrated, and I finally found a new strategy that worked." By focusing on the effort, the persistence, and the specific strategies you used, not just the outcome or some idea of innate ability, you reinforce the core belief that your actions are what lead to growth. Rep 4. Surround yourself with growers. This one is critical and often overlooked. One fixed mindset friend who is constantly making excuses about natural talent or complaining about just not being good at something can subtly drag an entire group back into that limiting mindset. Instead, actively seek out people who high-five effort, who celebrate the learning process, and who genuinely believe in continuous improvement. Your environment profoundly impacts your own beliefs, and being in a supportive community can sustain your motivation. Section 4. Proof it works. Just 4 weeks after my napkin moment, I walked into my calculus midterm expecting to completely bomb. Same intimidating concepts, same intimidating lecturer, but something fundamental had shifted in my internal script. I wasn't just trying to survive the exam, I was actively engaging with the problems, searching for different angles and solutions. I actually finished early, scored a B+, and that same professor later asked if I'd consider being a TA for the course. Think about that for a second. Identical brain, same course material, but a completely new blueprint guiding my entire approach. This isn't just an anecdotal story either. A major study published in the journal Nature, which looked at over 12,000 students, found that a short online training in growth mindset concepts raised the grades of lower achieving students and increased enrollment in advanced math courses for everyone. And the best part? The shift compounds over time. That newfound confidence doesn't stay locked in one subject. It leaks into other areas of your life, your relationships, your creative pursuits, even your fitness goals. One simple belief really can edit your entire storyline. If you're testing this blueprint out right now, if that little word, yet, is starting to spark something in you, do me a favor. Smash that like button. Let us make sure the YouTube algorithm shows this to someone else out there who is completely convinced they just not a all person. Let's flood the feed with evidence that skills are grown, not granted, and that potential is something you build, not something you're born with. Section 5. Keeping the momentum. Momentum, as we all know, can die a slow and quiet death when we simply forget to measure it. To combat this, I started a simple ritual. Every Sunday night, I spend just 5 minutes rating 2 categories for the week, my effort and my strategy. I give each one a score from 1 to 5, jot down a single sentence explaining why I gave it that score, and then I set a tiny, achievable micro goal for the upcoming week. For example, effort, 5-5, I showed up every day. Strategy, 2-5, my approach wasn't working, I felt stuck. The goal for the next week might be to ask for help. There's no judgment here, just honest private feedback. Over a few months, those seemingly insignificant scraps of paper or notes in your phone form a powerful dashboard that undeniably proves progress is happening, even when your feelings might be lagging behind the cold, hard facts. Your brain absolutely loves evidence. Feed it this data consistently, and this new mindset won't just be a temporary fix. It will truly become a permanent part of who you are. I walked into college believing my potential had a hard, unyielding ceiling. One tiny, 3-letter word, yet, removed it completely. This blueprint isn't just for students struggling with math. It's free, it's portable, and it works at any age in any area of your life, from learning an instrument to getting in shape. So today, pick just one area where you've habitually told yourself, "I can't," and add that magic suffix. Then take the smallest possible action that begins to prove your new story true. Comment below with the sentence you're rewriting. We'd love to cheer you on. Remember, abilities are grown, not granted. You truly are just one belief away from the upgraded version of you. Now go earn those reps.